Hello and welcome to Teacher Inspiration Station. In today's video, I want to share with you why I don't do flexible seating in my classroom. Now, when I talk about flexible seating, I'm talking about all in. Like you're giving your students a variety of seating options, from the exercise ball, the stools, the stand-up desks, the shortened desks with cushions, the yoga mats, the wobble seats, the bobble seats, the whole 9 yards. And I just want to preface this video first by saying that I am not an expert in flexible seating. I do not have experience with it in my classroom. My opinion is based off of my experience with children, my personality and my teaching style, and all the blogs and articles and videos that I've seen about flexible seating that has helped me form my decision. And this is not a video in which I bash flexible seating. There are a lot of teachers who do flexible seating and they do it well, and it works for them, it works for their students. And if you want to try flexible seating in your classroom, by all means, go for it. There are benefits to flexible seating. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do. This is just a video explaining why I personally don't do it, as well as we don't always have to do what's out there. We are all unique people and we do what works for us and what works for our students, and that's okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Reason number one is the cost. Flexible seating can get very expensive. It costs money to buy the stand-up desks. It costs money to buy the yoga balls and the mats and the stools. Even if one piece were not very expensive, you have to buy multiple items. If I were given an X amount of money for my classroom, I feel like it's better spent on rich resources, rich texts, leveled readers, games, math manipulatives. I can't justify, for me in my classroom, I can't justify spending money on various seating options when I have a perfectly good set of classroom chairs already in my classroom. Reason number two is it's time consuming. Some teachers go the economical route and they find items that are free or for dirt cheap, but that takes time. It takes time to send emails and make phone calls to different places. It takes time to make seats. It takes time to measure fabric and do all of that. And once you have flexible seating in your classroom, you can't just say, all right, kids, go to town. You can't do that. So it takes time to model how to do it, be consistent, have a good routine going. And there are so many things going on in my classroom. There's so many routines that kids have to learn that for me, it is not worth it to have this on top of an already busy classroom. It's just not worth the time and energy and effort for me personally. Reason number three, I think kids are just given too much choice. So in my classroom, kids have pretty much two options. You either work at your desk or you can work on the carpet with a clipboard. And there are some variations to that I'll share with you a little later on. But in a flexible seating classroom, some kids have 6, 7 different seating options to choose from. And depending on how you do flexible seating in your classroom, you may have a rotating system and kids may not get the choice of place that they wanted to sit in anyway, which to me defeats the purpose because they may not even be comfortable necessarily in where they have to sit. I don't know, I just feel like it's just too much going on. And also, are students gonna pick the best choice for them? That's something that I'm gonna have to be on top of them on. Oh, that's not a good choice, and I have to make the choice for them, or you have to get this choice taken away from you. And it's I just find the less choices you give kids, the easier it makes your life. Generally speaking, I don't think kids are so uncomfortable in chairs or so uncomfortable sitting on the carpet with a clipboard that I feel the need to offer them multiple seating options. Number four, I see flexible seating as a classroom management issue. Now, there are some teachers who do it and they do it well and it's not an issue for them. But for me, I just see it as just kids just floating around. like no real sense of where their spot is. They're bouncing here and rolling there, and I don't know, I just see chaos. And I could be wrong, but I like the fact that kids have their assigned seats. And it's not like kids don't, it's not like kids always have to sit in their seats. Like they float around depending on what we're doing. I feel like kids are just gonna be worrying about who's sitting with who, and them not making good choices about who they sit with, and me having to say, you didn't make a good choice, I'm gonna have to, or them not using the seating properly and me having to take it away. They don't get their first choice. Is that gonna be a meltdown? And I don't know, I just feel like it's just too much. Just the thought of it just complicates my head. And I just feel like chairs, they just don't complicate my life. They're easy. It's, here's a chair, go to work. Reason number 5 is I meet the needs of my students as I get to know them. So in my classroom, like I said, kids can work at their desks, they can work on the carpet with a clipboard. I have some cushions that kids work there. Sometimes a couple kids work in the hallway. I also have like a single desk that faces a window where some kids, like in groups, they don't focus, so they sit there. And it's not seen as like a bad kid spot. Like it helps a lot of kids focus. So some kids stand. Sometimes when kids are doing art, you know, I find a lot of kids like to stand during art. So my classroom is not rigid where you walk in and everyone's just perfectly quiet working at desks. And I've had instances where I've had a child with autism who needed one of those circular seats with the bumps on it. I don't know the official name of it, but the child used that. I've had children use weighted vests. So yeah, as I get to know you, I support you in whatever way I can, but I don't feel the need to have all these different types of non-traditional seating in order to meet the needs of my students, because I don't necessarily think that would meet the needs of a lot of my students if I have all those options. And the last reason why I don't do flexible seating in my classroom is I think it's just trendy right now. It's cool, it's hip. When you walk into a classroom and you see it, it's like, oh yeah, and it sounds great in theory. I don't think the concept of having a student-centered classroom or kids collaborating and having choices, I don't think all of that is trendy, but just the avenue of flexible seating I feel is. Like in a few years from now, people aren't really going to be doing it anymore. It's going to be something else. That is it with education. That's how it is. So I just feel like old-fashioned chairs are here to stay. So that's it. Those are the reasons why I don't do flexible seating to a high degree. I guess I do some variations of it, minimally, but yeah, I guess I do. But what do you think? Do you do flexible seating in your classroom? Do you like it? And I'm curious, do you notice a difference in your students? Like, do you feel like your students are more focused? Do they have more fun? Is it like, I'm curious to know from someone who's done both. And yeah, what do you do in your room? Let's get the discussion going. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And again, like I said, this is not a bashing of flexible seating video. Like, there are benefits for it. There are teachers who do it really well. It works for them. And if you want to try it, give it a try. But I'm just sharing why it doesn't work for me, and that you don't have to do everything. You take what you like and leave what you don't, and that's okay. If you like this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe. See you all in my next video. Bye.